Hey everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 25, Frankenmuth Mega Farm Project episode 73. It's March now, and today we are going to plant a bunch of different crops. So we need to get oats in the ground, potatoes in the ground, spinach if we're going to do spinach, sugar beet, which I think we need to do just to keep things up, maybe a small one of sugar beet though, and a smallish one of potatoes, sunflowers. Yeah, so we should get started on that. We don't need red beet this year. We've got plenty of stuff, so we definitely don't need red beet. Oh, let's see here. What do we got available to us to plant? This guy was set up for corn. Oh, and did I say sorghum? I didn't say sorghum. That comes next month. Sugar beet. Sunflowers on this guy. So as far as sugar beet goes, let's see, what do we have available to us? Don't have a serious plan, but I think we will do sugar beet in 8. And that will be enough. Maybe 8 and 31. Yeah. So let's get this guy started on 8. And you can also do 31. And then while he's doing that, we'll think about what else we're planting and where we're going to put the potatoes. All right, while he's planting an 8, we got to look at where we're putting oats and potatoes. Potatoes are their own planters, so that's one thing. I said we were going to give Seedhawk another try, and I believe we can afford it. Still think toe behind is the way to go on this, just for ease of getting into it. A conveyor on the fill system so that we can actually choose. Make it cheaper by using wheels, the little wheels. Right. Although, I don't know, the tracks seem so good. All right, Elmer's. Okay, 176. Yes. Okay. And then got that bit, and we need this bit, and that takes all our money basically. And you're on toe behind. I'm not sure if there is a best. I think that's fine. Yep, 225. Okay. But we now own the Seed Hawk again for 401k. And this guy's going to be done quick. So let's go get something that can pull those. Case can pull those. I think we'll do oats in these two big fields here. We'll save this bottom set for, well, near bottom. We'll save this set down here for sorghum, maybe. Throw potatoes down. And this guy here. That'll be a lot of potatoes, but they're pretty valuable. Just as is. 700 something. We get a lot of them. And then if we go down into like potato chips, we get them all into potato chips, which means we got to keep the oil up. So we've got plenty of sunflowers still, as I understand it. Yeah, we've still got plenty of sunflowers. We're going to need some canola, though. I think we missed the canola boat, except for the one canola field we've got already. So, yeah, I think that's where we're going to go. But first we're going to get these oats in, and we'll think about the rest after. Yeah, we got to go get, yeah, I'm thinking potatoes in this field here. And we're going to do oats in those other fields I already talked about. And yeah, we need oil to keep the potatoes going, keep the potato production going. So we'll probably put down some canola when we can, or maybe we missed canola. Yeah, we missed canola for this year, but we've got plenty of sunflowers. So we're good there. We have two places for oats. Flour mill, the grain mill, and the cereal production once we actually get corn and rice going in there. That requires some oats as well, so I'm going to do 2 fields of oats for that. And then we have corn and a sunflower, which we'll need to drop in. I may just do sunflower in 10 again. That seemed to produce enough sunflower. And who knows what else. Okay. Well, goodbye, mailbox. I think we might need to pick a new place for these headers, because they're kind of in the way. Maybe just right over here we get rid of, well, not rid of, but get this guy somewhere else. You can just right over here for now. Yeah, that will provide us with a slightly better path channel through here. We'll get seeds in this front one. Yeah, seeds again, maybe. And solid fertilizer in the final one. We're rocking through our monies, but we'll get some more in about a half an hour. Really rocking through our monies. Alright. That's that. So let's get oats down. 50 grand on supplies. Whew. Okay, so then... Right. Oats. Now when was the price? Price goes in next month. Okay. Worker B has completed their task. Let's see how well this guy does sowing oats in that field. Send this guy off to sow oats in this field. We got to go back up and check on that. Right. We're gonna put more of these in 31. Yeah. Need that field just to complete the set. We bought this field with up here 7 with cotton in it. I think that's maybe another spinnery or some other small production that we don't need room for. Right. Now I said we were gonna do sunflowers. We gotta fill this thing up with fertilizer again. Before we can do that. Maybe we do sunflowers in these two. There's the fertilizer. No, that's herbicide. We gotta make a little money somehow. Real quick anyway. So let's think about that. What does that look like? That looks like a loan. We just need to have enough money in the bank to make sure we can afford to pay our workers. Eventually we are going to sell that stuff off. We can get the rest of this wood in, but we're now at the mercy of the other mill, and yeah, we're out of trees aside from what's on the ground already. Over here, like I said, unless we cut down the border trees, which we can, I guess, and it'd be better to do it now than after those guys got their growth on, the ones on the edge there. Luckily we pre-bought all that liquid fertilizer. Alright, so we got sunflowers going in here. And spinach. Do we want to do spinach? Potatoes. We want to do potatoes. But, what do we have in that thing? Spinach is at half. I think we do want some spinach. So if spinach is planted or seeded, I don't have anything I can actually check in right now. So we'll have to wait on that, where we're going to put spinach. But we are going to put spinach. But at the moment, we need to get down in here and find that potato planter. What is that? That's not the potato planter. That's the potato planter. Okay. This guy probably will happily run the potato planter. I've got all the big boys. I've got all the big boys already. The really big boys out there doing stuff. Had a we have at least 2 auger trailers that are good for that stuff. Now we just need to figure out how do we load this thing. Sure, I'm glad impacts don't mean anything. Okay, it looks like we can't load it like that. Can we load it with the wheel loader? I sure hope so. I'm not sure how else. Maybe we can put it in a trailer and load it from the trailer. If this doesn't work, if this works, then fine. We can bring a 10K. Now let's see, will it load from here? Okay, cool. So we can get 8K potatoes in and then bring more down. Here we go, finally. Maybe because potatoes are kind of a pain to load and cart, because there's so many of them, we put them up here near this guy, near the spot we're going to keep them. And that saves us a bit on effort, right? Now the question remains, do we do a lot of potatoes? Oh, this is going to be a lot of potatoes. I think we do. I think we do a bunch of potatoes. We're going to have to run the fertilizer over this thing. However, all right. And in just a couple of days, guys, the next app pack comes out. I'm really hoping to get up to 3,000 subs sometime reasonably so that I can get a Giants partnership. Oh, I'm not going to ask very often, but please subscribe if you haven't already. So that I can get into the Giants program and get early access to stuff as it comes, and then I can show it off to you. But that's going to be a lot of potatoes. I'm not going to do this chunk in potatoes, just that big chunk. Do this little chunk in something else. Maybe that could be spinach. Oh, thinking about that. What do we got going here? Yeah, that thing definitely is wider by a lot. All right, we can think about, I guess, going to get yeah, I guess we gotta go deal with that wall. All right, we gotta go get, let's see, he's done. Is he out of, he's out of seed. Okay, well, we're close. We'll just go get more seed. And then, yeah, I think these 2 oat fields will be fine. I'm not sure what else what else we can put in. Let's see. Grass, peas, spinach. Okay. The seed hog can go put spinach in somewhere. Although maybe, given that we don't want that much spinach, we actually don't want the seed hog to do it. We want something else to do it. You finish the oats. Right, we gotta figure out what we're doing here. Yeah, because that's not... Where potatoes going? I think the potatoes are out probably as well. And like I said, we're not doing spinach. We've already got sunflowers being planted, and we've already planted all the sugar beet I want to plant, I think. We look here, yeah, we got sugar beet. We could buy more sugar beet right there if we wanted to. Room for a few other things. We could go put oats in one. I think that makes sense. But he's going to need more seed. No, he's not. He's not going to need more of anything. He's fine. The field work. No, don't do that. Will you? I think you will. Nope. He won't. Okay, we're going to go get the oats started, and then we'll go see about refilling the potato planter. Alright, something I didn't really realize is that those sheep barns hold on to their wool. We weren't losing out, we were just putting off the work, giving it to future us. We're still gonna have to load all of these guys. Alright, we're gonna go fill whatever needs filling over here, and then we're gonna sell the lot. Given how fast this stuff goes, it won't be much, so I'm thinking maybe we should slap another rope factory down to take up some of the slack. I think we've got, the spinneries are as spinnery as, spinneries get, and I know that made absolutely no sense. The spinneries are covering the Tailors just fine, as far as I can tell. If we take a look at them, we can see that they have plenty of wool, and that the tailor shops have not excess per se, but a little bit of over on cloth. Fabric, that's the word. Yeah, I would 100% love to just turn these, but that's months out and a sacrifice of a lot of wool. And so let's see, that's, I think, spinnery 3, spinnery 1. Right, I just filled him up again. Just goes to show we could actually handle more spinneries, but maybe we would sell the cloth, sell the fabric, or possibly we'd have to go more tailor shops. I mean, we are so in on wool at this point. But that'll have to wait till we have some money. meantime, we'll just sell all this wool. Like we're full of wool. Where's the best place to sell wool right now? The rope maker? Okay. Already pointed this direction. We'll just go this way. Now we could buy all this land on the left and run spinneries and things all the way down it, which might be a valid option. Might work. Well, we'll see. It's a lot of little pieces of land and would actually be either prime for one big long field of some sort, which isn't a terrible option, especially if it's maybe one or two widths. But I think, yeah, I think it would be best as a production zone. Here we are at the rope maker, and he's got a decent amount of money right there. Go get some other chores done while we're waiting on various things to run out of product. I mean, be ready to move on. So we'll go do cows and whatnot. We got to check in on our pigs and see how they're doing as well. Trying to remember what was the thing that was done. All right. What all can we plant? Is there anything else that we can seed? Because I don't think we want that much. We want that much spinach. So it seems a little crazy to use a seed hawk for that much spinach. see if we have anything. Yes, a beet. Nice. I think that's 2. Thought I saw a shadow over there. Okay. I got 2 out of 10 on the beets, I think. And yeah, I can't see anything else we can plant with this guy. Unless maybe we, let's see, what's in here? We got something planted in here yet? No, just owned. That's not, it's not a huge field. I would think that would maybe get rice. Oh, we did plant some canola, good. I hope that thing doesn't run out. Ha! Yeah, right there. Of course. That was crazy. Don't fill up the seed again. Yeah, we're gonna buy this. And we're gonna put spinach in here with this guy. I think he'll be fine. What are you doing? Alright, we're doing alright. Which means we put something else in that spot. Got that planter. I think we could do carrots or something on that without too terrible. It wouldn't be too terrible to do that small field in carrots. That's next month though. We'll see how I feel next month. So sorghum, still a thing. Right. So corn, rice. Corn and rice. until harvest. Unless we do carrots. We could do carrots. In that small field anyway. I think this guy's gonna actually finish it up on this tank. Oh, there he is, planting that spinach. Right, I was gonna go have a look out here and see how... Got 19k slurry. So you're either... Nope, you are not on the slurry tank. I guess that's fine. How are you little Angus cows doing? I thought I bought Angus. I thought they were darker. Let's have ourselves a quick look here. So we paid 300 each. And they're worth 167. And we've got tons of meadow. That's the key. You guys living on meadow? Cool. These pigs are 100% health. I think we bought the pied ones. We paid basically 230 each. They're worth 500 each now. That's cool. I think Angus are not even... Angus don't produce... Yeah, Angus don't even produce milk. We don't even have a milk option. Now, if I put a big old slurry tank over at the other cows, which we need to manage anyway, we were to slap down a slurry tank, maybe just right here in the middle or right on the edge here. I think that's probably within range. I wonder if we could get it in a spot that would make it possible to... I don't know what the range is. But if we could get it in a spot that would make it possible to easily loop slurry carting, then that would be a thing. Then we could really think about that. We could be running the slurry out of these guys as well. So gotta figure that out. Without ruining our ability to get in and out is part of the key, though. Right, so while those guys are doing their thing, we will be doing our chores. Alright, now I'm thinking about that hay still. We got so much. Okay, if we set you to storing, then we can come pick it up. And then we can fill you up with grass. And you will distribute some of it to silage and some of it will be stored as hay, and we won't have to go run a big hay Won't have to go do a big hay run. Looks to me like this Bergman has a trailer hookup on the back. Oh, I'm wondering whether I can run two of them. Now I'm wondering. There's that Bergman. It looks like it's got a trailer hookup on the back and that the PTO goes all the way to the back. Maybe lift up a little panel here or something. So I'm thinking maybe spend all of our money and get another one. Prone is also a push, I think, or a walking floor of some sort. I don't see it having any way of. I don't see it having any way of lifting, or maybe it does. Not really seeing a big lifting apparatus, so this might be a push as well. This Bergman has more though. Prone actually supports everything. Food for thought. Maybe when we've got a little more money. But our potatoes are just about planted, and I'm pretty sure it's going to make it. Pretty sure it's going to make it. Because it's just to that little corner there. You're done. I believe this thing detached. And hopefully it doesn't break my save. This seed hawk. I'm not going to leave it attached to the tractor. Last time I had it attached to a triangle to the tractor, and it may have been the triangle and the seed hawk together that caused the problem. Still don't have a place to store this thing. It doesn't even fit in my... Doesn't even fit in my machine hall. Maybe there's space for it in the trailer shed. I'm still thinking about that slurry. We can get a spot that covers both those cow barns and is accessible on a looping capability, then we're golden, because then we can loop from it to the other one, and the other one to the... Let's see. I don't know. I think maybe we're looking at just stashing this thing like right here. We're going to disconnect it. And hopefully that fixes things. Alright, so we got room for corns and all that stuff. Oh yeah, I was gonna remind myself. No, we don't want to do that with that. We need that for pulling the seed hawk again. I'm sure I've got something that can run that little planter though. I'll probably remember. Right. What else do we have going still? It seems like nothing. I guess that wheel loader's not quite as burly as I was imagining. It's not much bigger than this tractor. And what we could do is throw these potatoes in here. But I don't think that's... Alright. I'm gonna go get you washed up and put away. The wheel loader over there. Well, we're gonna have potatoes for days, that's for sure. And before we're done with March, we still need to load some wood into the sawmills. But we are basically out of time on this episode, so that will have to happen next episode before we move on to April. Next episode we will be doing more planting, all of the April planting. And more chores. I expect there's a lot more wool to be worked on. Yeah, we'll get this guy. Guy washed off and put away. Are they using a whole potato? You don't need a whole potato. I mean, I guess if you're doing it manually, but I guess if you're doing it in an automated fashion, it just makes more sense to slap down a whole potato than to worry about cutting out eyes specifically in the right way, and all of your bits have eyes, etc., etc. So that basically caps it for that, although we don't need to, yeah, you know, we don't need to put this potato planter at an angle. We can back it in properly and not have to fight to get it out next time. I don't know, since a few patches ago, these things have gotten they've started missing bits and deciding they were done. I don't know what the deal there is or why that is, but that has been happening. That's crazy. The Seed Hawk did 3 fields while this Amazon was busy doing the 1. So it definitely makes sense. But we've definitely got some oats now, and it's going to be a lot of corn too. Man, things are going to get pretty corny later this year. Because I am going to plant a lot of corn. Some of it will pull for chaff for silage, and some of it we will pull for corn. Thinking probably at least 4 cornfields. We got to get this guy out of the way. But as I said, we're basically out of time. It feels weird to leave things out. And the final thing I want to check, just so I'm aware of it later, is yes, our planted stuff. We still owe. Well, that's interesting. I don't know what happened down there, but That's cotton, and it's not quite fully fertilized, but it's as fertilized as it's getting, I think. Everything here, we need to fertilize the grapes one more time. But I wanted to see about weeds. Right. That cotton needs a weeding. Yeah, I can see them in here, and they are small. We can hit them up with the hoe. You know, I'm gonna send that down there to do the job, and then it will do it. We'll be doing it next episode when we come back. And we extract a hoe. Can. Yay. Oh, we haven't moved eggs yet either. And that's certainly something that needs to be done. Looks like there's a lot of eggs. Did I not? I must have moved through the months and not picked the eggs up. Alright, well, we have a few more minutes. I'm gonna go do the eggs. Okay, nice. Yeah, we're gonna go get those eggs. If we can find... There he is. There he is. This guy. Yeah, I must have been neglecting the eggs, which probably reduced our profits some. We can, you know, knock them around and drop them and make more work for ourselves. That's always an option. I'll leave that out there. I don't think we're getting enough honey yet, honestly. I'll leave it stack here. Full stack anyway. And we'll leave another partial stack over here. And we'll stick the rest in. Let's go in the preserved foods. Let's not hide this. If I hide it, I'll miss it. Alright. Let's just have a go through on these things and make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to. Whoa, you're low on strawberries. Did I forget to... I probably forgot. Probably forgot to... Yep, I did. Alright. Yep, forgot to set that back to distributing. Way back when, so we're lucky their bakeries have any strawberries at all. It'll catch up for sure, though. Cement factory still got stones. Good. We're still waiting on corn and rice. I'm not doing regular rice, so that's never getting activated. We've still got plenty of planks. We're full on milk. We haven't done the distribution of the regular milk. Of the buffalo milk, I mean. The grain mill could take more oats, could take more barley, could take more wheat. We got rice and sorghum going in there. Grapes are grapes. Oil is oil. Parts is parts. And we are out of wood in both wood factories. So next episode, we need to do some woodwork and some loading of why are you guys not distributing out to the max? But the tarps are being full. The glasses are just holding a little bit anyway. I don't know why the water distro is not like why do I even have two if one of them is just going to sit there full? Unless I didn't have it. It wasn't running right for some reason. All right. We have our work cut out for us next episode, and we need more bees. It's apparent that we're not getting enough honey yet. I want a pallet a month out of this. But with that, I will say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you next time.